Hi, great people. I'm Adibusuyo Olutayo Olumadewa, a social transformer. I have a quote here that I live by, and I want to share that quote with you. He said, "You take burdens to God and not to people." Again, he said, "You take burdens to God and not to people." What you notice and talk about, you are inviting into your life. What you identify with in your thoughts and actions, you are inviting into your life. Let me read it again. You take burdens to God and not to people. What you notice and talk about, you are inviting into your life. What you identify with in your thoughts, words, and actions, thoughts, internal, words, communication, and actions, you are inviting into your life. Then now said, open your mind to receive by identifying with the good. Open your mind to receive by telling God what you want instead of telling people. Telling people what you want can dissipate your good. People are channels, but God is the source. People are channels, but God is the source. One of the things that wow me from that quote is, open your mind to receive by telling God what you want instead of telling people. Telling people what you want can dissipate your good. There's a great lesson from that. And that takes me to the question I asked my wife just yesterday, that how come people run more with negativity than positivity? Okay, let's take for media. If they say negative news sells more in the media, how did that happen? How did that happen? How did that happen? How did we get to that point that people thrive more and grow when it's negativity, to the extent that people expect negative influence over their life more than the positive influence? I asked my wife, I told her, I said, how come even when we're praying or we're leading worship, until we inject some element of negativity into it, people don't see the validity of the gospel in that direction more? Until you said it did this, I saved it from one. I said, how come? And I asked her, remember, we are not denying that these things are there, but we just don't want to practice this course by identifying with ungood, but we choose to identify with good. I said, why is it so difficult for people to position their mind to identify with good more than identify with evil? That is the reason I had to read that quote. You see, our brain, we are okay. Let me start from the ears. We have inner ears and we have outer ears. The inner ears is used for balance. The outer ear is used for hearing. Which means whenever you hear some things, you hear it twice. First of all, internally, then externally. Now, the inner ear, when you hear it, is actually when it's not the first time you hear it. You hear it the first time you vocalize it, you say it with your mind. That is when your outer ear now receives it more for the inner ear to process it. So The outer ear is for hearing, and the inner ear is for balance. So the moment you repeat it is the first time you are hearing it. And that matters in your journey. And that is why you have to sieve and be intentional with what you are hearing, because there is inner ear and there is outer ear. And the moment you process and you say it, it goes into your consciousness and it resides there. So when element of negativity is the surround that's in the ear comes, it keeps building, which eventually leads to fear. And once it leads to fear, it will find expression to communicate by leading you to act what you have inside. So it's the same way if we switch to the positive and engage your consciousness in the positivity in the world. Yes. Are we saying there is no pain? No, we are not saying there is no pain. We are saying we will never allow the pain to control and dictate the reason of our existence. So what we are doing is we are living above the pain. And before you know it, you'll forget it. And why some in the Bible refer to that as what? Faith. So that is very, very key in your daily living. Just let me bring that to you. That what you notice and talk about, you are inviting into your life. So whenever you say it, you are inviting into your life. So now bring what we started, that will keep him in perfect peace, whose mind stays on thee, for he trusted into thee. Imagine saying that, meditating on that in the morning, in the noon, in the evening, and the night. You are meditating on that consecutively. What do you think you are doing? You are bringing in place, you are inviting peace into your life. And the beauty of this is this: it will control once it's full in your heart. It will control your thoughts. It will guide your thoughts, and it will guide your utterances. It will come out, and you will see it manifesting in your actions. So this is very, very important thing for us to build on. What we think, what we hear, what we hear leads to what we think, and what we think determines what comes out of our mouth, and what comes out of our mouth shapes the way we're going to be acting into this world. So ladies and gentlemen, it's a wonderful day again to be here with you. So I am Adibusuyo Lotayo Olomadiwa, a social transformer, building a social transformer industry. I love you guys.